Hey there. Today we're diving into AI news that could reshape the entire internet landscape as we know it. I've done a deep dive on this topic and we're going to dig in. Last year, Google was been ruled an illegal monopoly, and the Justice Department is looking at potential remedies, including forcing Google to sell off Chrome, its dominant web browser. Guess who's raising their hand with interest? OpenAI, the company behind ChatGPT. OpenAI's head of product for ChatGPT, Nick Turley, recently testified in court that they would be interested in buying Chrome if it became available. Today we're breaking down what's happening with the Google monopoly case, why OpenAI wants Chrome, OpenAI's explosive growth and revenue projections, and what this potential acquisition could mean for the future of search and AI. I'm Dr. McCoy, Julia McCoy's digital clone. Julia's the founder of First Movers, an innovative team of AI pros that she created to help businesses craft an unfair advantage in the age of abundance coming our way. If you're an entrepreneur seeking untapped markets or a professional wanting to stay ahead of industry disruptions, we help you see what others can't. Our clients have gained early insights into breakthrough agentic workflows, pivoted their businesses ahead of market shifts, and developed skills that position them way ahead using our proprietary movers framework and agentic buildouts. Learn more and book your consulting call at firstmovers.ai today. We'd love to help you get ahead 10 times faster than your competition and pivot into AI now. Okay, so let's start with the basics. Last year, federal judge Amit Mehta ruled that Google maintains an illegal search monopoly. This ruling follows years of investigation and litigation by the Department of Justice. The DOJ and several states are now pushing for remedies that would fundamentally change how Google operates. Among these proposed remedies, 1. Forcing Google to share its search index and click and query data. 2. Requiring Google to divest Chrome, its dominant web browser. 3. Ending Google's exclusive distribution deals that get its search app preloaded on Android phones. The most interesting part is that this case isn't just about Google's traditional search engine. It's about the emerging AI-powered search market. The government argues that Google shouldn't be allowed to leverage its dominance in traditional search to control generative AI. The DOJ argues that OpenAI is an example of a company whose ability to grow has been hampered by Google's power in search, including its control of Chrome, which is responsible for a large portion of search queries that go through Google. Judge Mehta wants to force Google to make its search data available to rivals, which would be a massive shift in the competitive landscape. Why Chrome specifically? According to testimony, a large percentage of Google search queries come through Chrome. By controlling the browser, Google essentially controls a major gateway to search. This gives them enormous power in directing user behavior and collecting valuable data. Enter OpenAI. On Tuesday, April 22, 2025, Nick Turley, head of product for ChatGPT, testified that OpenAI would be interested in purchasing Chrome if Google was forced to sell it. This is a big deal. OpenAI has been developing its own search product called SearchGPT, which would directly compete with Google. In fact, Turley testified that last July, OpenAI actually tried to get access to Google's search data to help build SearchGPT, particularly to handle what he called the long tail of uncommon searches. Google, unsurprisingly, declined. What's especially interesting is that according to reporting from The Information, OpenAI had already been considering developing its own web browser as far back as May 2024, even hiring 2 former key Chrome developers. This shows Chrome has been on their radar for some time. During his testimony, Turley explained that opening up Google's search data would allow us to build a better product faster by improving the quality of real-time information. He also stated that OpenAI would get significant value from a distribution agreement with Chrome, such as making ChatGPT a preset search option if Chrome became independent from Google. Such a deal would allow more people to discover our product. So why would OpenAI want Chrome? 3 main reasons. 1. Access to users. Chrome has billions of users worldwide and is responsible for a large portion of all Google search queries. Acquiring Chrome would give OpenAI immediate access to this massive user base. 2. Data collection. The browser is an incredible data collection tool. It would provide OpenAI with insights into user behavior that could help train and improve their AI models. 3. Distribution. Remember how the DOJ wants to end Google's exclusive distribution deals? If OpenAI owned Chrome, they could potentially set ChatGPT or SearchGPT as the default search engine, instantly gaining massive market share. Essentially, OpenAI sees Chrome as a potential shortcut to challenge Google's search dominance, the very monopoly position that got Google in trouble in the first place. To understand why OpenAI could actually pull this off, we need to look at their incredible growth trajectory. OpenAI is projecting some mind-blowing numbers. Revenue topping $125 billion by 2029, growth to $174 billion by 2030, gross margins approaching 70% by 2029, and cash flow turning positive in 2029, generating close to $12 billion that year. Wild stuff. For context, OpenAI ended last year at $3.7 billion in revenue, nearly quadrupling from the previous year. They're currently serving more than 500 million active users per week, up from 300 million in December. In the AI market specifically, Turley acknowledged during cross-examination that OpenAI's internal documents show ChatGPT holding approximately 85% market share in the US chatbot market. That's dominance that approaches Google's level in search, which is exactly what has gotten Google into antitrust trouble. Their business model is evolving beyond just ChatGPT subscriptions and API access. By 2029, they project $50 billion from ChatGPT subscriptions, $22 billion from API sales, $29 billion from AI agents, and $25 billion from monetizing free users and other new products. OpenAI has already begun forming strategic partnerships to expand its reach. Turley testified about their integration with Apple, where ChatGPT functions as a fallback when Siri can't answer questions. They've also tried to get ChatGPT preloaded on mobile devices, but have been unsuccessful so far, with Turley testifying that attempts to do so ran into the perception that OpenAI couldn't pay as much as Google. This rapid scaling and diversification gives OpenAI the financial muscle to potentially make significant acquisitions like Chrome if the opportunity arises. Investors certainly believe in this vision. SoftBank recently led a $40 billion investment round, valuing OpenAI at $260 billion, 73% higher than its valuation just last fall. So let's imagine a world where OpenAI actually acquires Chrome. What would that mean for users and the tech landscape? First, we'd likely see deep integration between Chrome and OpenAI's products. ChatGPT could become the default assistant built into the browser. SearchGPT could replace Google as the default search engine. The operator agent could help users navigate the web more efficiently. During his testimony, Turley specifically mentioned the value of having ChatGPT as a preset search option in Chrome. We can also look to OpenAI's existing partnerships for clues about how they might approach Chrome integration. Their deal with Apple provides an interesting model. Turley testified that when Siri can't answer a question by itself, it refers refers the question to ChatGPT, functioning as what he called an overflow. When asked about the financial arrangement with Apple, Turley testified that, at a high level, we offer a share of our revenue. This integration would create a powerful ecosystem. Instead of jumping between different tools and websites, users could stay within the Chrome environment for most of their online activities. From searching for information to making purchases, booking reservations, or creating content. For OpenAI, this would create multiple new revenue streams. They could implement their free user monetization strategy directly in the browser. They could earn affiliate fees. When users make purchases through Chrome, they could collect more valuable training data to improve their AI models, and they could offer premium Chrome features for subscribers. But this raises some important questions. Would an OpenAI-owned Chrome create a new kind of monopoly? Would we just be trading Google's dominance for OpenAI's? It sounds like it's take a product from one monopoly and sell it to a would-be monopolist, right? And what about privacy concerns? How would OpenAI use all that browser data? But quite honestly, we gave up privacy the minute we started using smartphones. I think the potential Chrome acquisition points to a larger shift happening in tech. We're seeing a battle for control over the primary interfaces people use to access the internet. For decades, the web browser and search engine have been those primary interfaces. But AI is changing that equation. Increasingly, people are turning to AI assistants like ChatGPT as their first stop for information rather than search engines. This explains why OpenAI is developing SearchGPT, why Google is integrating AI into search with features like AI overviews, and why both companies are racing to build more capable AI agents that can take actions on behalf of users. The company that controls these AI interfaces will have enormous influence over how people access information, make decisions, and interact with the digital world. That's why OpenAI's interest in Chrome is so significant. It represents a bold move to position themselves at the center of this new AI-powered internet. We're also seeing the lines blur between different tech categories. Is Chrome just a browser? Is ChatGPT just a chatbot? These products are evolving into comprehensive platforms that handle a wide range of user needs. So what's the takeaway from all this? The potential sale of Chrome to OpenAI would represent one of the biggest shakeups in tech history. It would dramatically accelerate the shift toward AI-mediated internet experiences and potentially create a new power dynamic in the industry. For users, this could mean more integrated, efficient online experiences. For businesses, it could mean adapting to new gatekeepers and distribution channels. And for regulators, it would raise new questions about competition and market power in the AI era. Whether or not this acquisition actually happens, it's clear that the battle for the future of search and AI is intensifying. OpenAI's ambitions extend far beyond being a chatbot company. They want to be at the center of how we experience the digital world. What do you think about OpenAI potentially buying Chrome? Would you prefer an OpenAI-powered browser over Google's? Share with others in the comments below. If you found this helpful, hit that like button, subscribe for more AI analysis, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on this developing story. Thanks for watching. I'll see you down the next rabbit hole.